But nowadays, mechanical crushers are often used. Shout out to machines.
And my ex-boyfriends.
Stopping. What?
My ex-boyfriends are pretty much mechanical crushers.
Got it. Okay. Like in the bedroom or like to heart?
I wish. No, just my heart, Ben. Just my
Sorry.
heart.
All right.
What we are talking about today is wine.
Oh, wine. Yes. We're talking about wine. Surprise, surprise. Syrah, Syrah.
Well, okay. I hate you so much for that. I like how I was just like, I'm going to associate it with you. That sounds right.
I'm going to give it, the man was right. I'm just going to give it to him.
Well, a woman could never be right.
Nope. Boo. Is derived. Oh my God. All right. If we really want to be so particular, I think the first step is to be born into a family that has a lot of money. Or
that is the first step. You're right. That was the one I missed out on.
You missed that. Buy land, kick indigenous people off the land, and then take
That's
that
not
land.
mandatory. That is not
It's
mandatory.
not, but it is the American way.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's why I have two toes stuck together, because they're dirty.
Is that true?
It's not because they're dirty, it's because I was born with it.
What?
It's actually Maybelline. But
what are you talking? Do you have two toes stuck together?
Yes, I do.
Like, is there skin around them both?
How else would they be stuck together?
No, I mean, like, are they individually wrapped or double wrapped? Is it like a Twix bar? Like, in there? You know
it's like two toes that are stuck together. Like, it looks like this, except there's skin here.
Ew, no, I don't like. What just happened?
Pinot Noir flavor profiles, fallen leaves, earth, and undergrowth.
What the fuck, dude? Why would I want to taste undergrowth? You know,
I don't know.
Like, I think this Pinot really tastes like dirt.
I can't wait for everyone, our listeners, the 10 of them, to invite us over for their bathtub wine. I'm so excited.
I do love a bathtub wine, a prison wine. I know that with prison wine, like, you take some oranges.
Made in the toilet. Oh.
Yeah. Well, like, I think you have to put them like under the radiator first because you want to like get them hot, I think. Welcome back, everyone, to another week of We're Experts Now. We're getting a little tipsy today. Hopefully you are too. Actually, I'm not because I've had a week-long migraine, but Ben's getting a little tipsy today.
Got my wine here, everyone.
Oh, yeah. I'm Jackie, and that's Ben. And this is our first Ben-centric episode. How exciting. Actually, it's kind of not because you came on an episode of season 1.
I did, but I feel like this I know jack shit about. So I am so excited. I, went to the sources. I went to ChatGPT. I went to different wine vineyard sites, winery sites.
And that's what we are talking about today is wine.
Oh, wine. Yes. We're talking about wine. Surprise, surprise. Syrah, Syrah.
Well, okay. I hate you so much for that. Okay. Wait, before we go there, how you been lately? What you been up to? How's your life?
Things are good. I went into my garage for the first time in a long time and found that my bike had been stolen. So that was fun for me to find out on a Monday.
How long had it been since you went into your garage?
It's been like a couple weeks. At least a couple weeks.
Okay, so it's not like months, like 6 months.
Well, I don't know. Because you know how like when you see something for so long that you like, it kind of fades into the background. Mm-hmm. So it could have been that. It could have been gone around Christmas time. Who knows? But
did you make a police report and just say, I once had a bike and at some point it went missing?
I did not make a police report because I was like, damn it. Now I have to get a new fucking bike. So.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
I don't even have a bike, but I want to get one.
I mean, I would recommend it. I've heard it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I've heard it's great. I, on the other hand, have just come back from Texas. I did not buy a gun, which is disappointing. I thought I
That's very
would, but they didn't force me to, so I didn't this
not
time.
yet.
I did it was really interesting because I hadn't met some of my cousins, which like sounds I think silly to some people, but like most of my cousins have like never like lived in the same area as me. Like they're almost all in different state. They're all in different states, not almost all. And I kind of like assumed that like I might not get along with one of my cousins because of like our political beliefs, and just other like fun things that people tend to like argue about in society and families. And they were like my absolute favorites. I was like, you
Cute.
and your wife are the freaking best. You crack
Aw.
me up, and I want to hang out with you all the time.
Where in Texas?
So that cousin is actually from Indiana. We
Hmm,
were in Dallas Fort Worth area.
gross. Okay. I've only been to
And my
Austin.
I've never been to Austin. I've been to a lot of other places in Texas. And then my cousins live in like I don't know if you've ever heard of these. It's called an air park. So they lived in like a gated community that had like a
Mhm.
landing strip in the middle of it, and
Is
you
that for
can
like army things?
no, they like everyone has their own planes.
What?
And like you just go like take your plane and like go down your driveway and then drive it down the runway and fly off into the world.
How wealthy is your family that they all own planes?
I'm going to be real, most of my family is poor. We're all real poor people, but this one cousin
Mm,
seems to have like I think they did like the husband does like tile or I don't know. But so like tile
right.
and masonry, like granite and that type of stuff. So I assume like I don't know, Texas is always building stuff,
Oh, that's true. They're
you
the
know,
land of um,
giant
things.
stuff. Everything is bigger in
How
Texas.
big are
It's
the
really
tiles? Are they giant? Are they giant
they were
tiles?
giant. Everything was giant. I was just like
Love
the
it.
doors were giant.
Is
I
that your
was like I
first time to Texas?
no, but I haven't seen these cousins since I was like 10. So it's been like 25 years. I've also let's see,
Did they
I've
look the
been to
same?
Houston. No, we're all old now. We were all like little kids when I saw a lot of them, and now we're
Well,
like
I don't
adults.
know. I don't know.
I think my favorite moment was after like all like the adults, like kind of like well, like older adults, uh, were like breaking out the photo albums. I was like, I'm gonna go sneak off and smoke a joint. And so I went outside and I was in my pajamas and I was uh
Classy.
I know it's like 40 degrees out in Texas and it's like late at night and I'm like standing in the dark in my pajamas and one of my cousins comes out and I could tell that he didn't see me standing in the dark because why would you assume that? And I was like, hello. He's like, oh shit, you scared me. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry. He's like, what are you doing out here? I was like, oh, I'm just feeling the weather for tomorrow.
What a stupid excuse.
And then he was like,
How much have you smoked at that point?
none, but I'm a really bad liar. I'm just a really bad liar. And so he's
Cool.
all like, oh, I was gonna smoke a joint. And I was like, oh, thank God that's what I was doing. So
Fantastic.
it was pretty funny. I mean, obviously, it was the reason I went. I like was sad because my aunt passed, and rest in
Oh,
peace.
that's right.
Yeah, rest in peace, Sharon. But it was nice to see some other family and to get to know some folks. So,
To
cheers to
Sharon.
that. Yeah, I have water, but to Sharon. Yeah. Um,
Cute. I
she
love you.
seemed
You
like
have an
a
aunt
pretty
named
cat.
Sharon. Or had an aunt named Sharon. Sorry.
You had a cat named Sharon?
No, I said I love that you had an aunt named Sharon. I think Sharon is just it's a name
It is a
that I
name. Yeah, you're right. It
that I
is
don't
a
care
name.
for. Although Sharon's
Well,
a fun name that's like that you throw in when you're like, damn it, Sharon. Like it's nice
it's
to like
reminding you of Karen,
throw.
I think, what's happening here.
Yeah, but they're both really good white names to just shout out and out of frustration.
I mean, like, Sharon was born in the 30s. So, like,
Oh.
girl, like, saw the world. She definitely was of a different time. You don't
Hmm.
have a lot of Sharons our age. My aunts were Sharon and
No.
Judith, and you don't have a lot of those our age.
Mm-mm.
We never
It's
see a
like
Jude.
Oh, it was like Kimmy Schmidt where they talk about like someone has a kid named Linda, and it's like you're uncomfortable that your child is named Linda.
That was my therapist's name, so I definitely would
Yep.
not.
That's my therapist's
Oh
name.
my
That's fun. Shout out to
god!
Linda.
I broke up with Linda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for your other loss.
Honestly, yeah, yeah. But now I have a podcast, and that's great.
It's like the same thing.
Okay. All right, Ben.
Should we so let's jump into this because
Let's
I'm
jump
a
into it.
big fan of wine.
I know you are.
I am a wine club member at a winery in Lodi.
What winery? Okay, Lodi.
Yeah, hey, they're known for their zins. They have really good zins, and I'm a big
Okay,
zin
okay.
fan.
We do love a zin.
My winery is Clinker Brick, which is
Which
not.
one is
It's
it?
an unfortunate name. It's back to masonry, though. Your cousin would know probably what it means. But
What's a clink though? I feel like that's what we just call like I was in the clink after the police
sure,
arrested me.
that is a good. Let's see, Clinker. It's about. Son of a bitch. It is about bricks. Oh, they spell okay.
Fascinating.
Clinker is sometimes spelled clinker. K. This is with a K. My winery,
Okay.
which is the contemporary Dutch word for the brick. Both
Okay.
terms are onomatopoeic, derived from
Onomatopoeic?
what is that? No, onomatopoeic. Onomatopoeic.
Onomatopoeic. Well,
What does that mean?
onomatopoeia, what is that? I always forget.
Isn't that when it's spelled the same word forward and backwards?
I think so, or it's the one where it's spelled exactly like you think it's like spelled phonetically. Okay, the
Mm,
formation of a word of from a sound associated with what it's named.
I love
I
words.
think it's what you just said, but I can't. Like, boom. Yeah, yeah, you were right. Zoom.
That's not
Splash.
what I said. That's not what I said. I said the same word spelled forward and backwards.
Oh,
Otherwise, zoom backwards would spell moose.
okay. Okay, I was right then.
You were right.
I like how I was right, and I was just like, I'm going to associate it with you. That sounds
I'm
right.
gonna give it. The man was right. I'm just gonna give it to him.
Well, a woman could never be right.
Nope. Boo. It is derived from the Middle Dutch klinkerd, later klinker from klinken, to ring or resound.
Clinker to clinkin.
Mm-hmm. Abe Clinken. He was the president of BRICS.
The brick president. Everybody knows the
Yeah,
brick president.
indeed. All right.
Okay.
All right. So there is 8 steps for winemaking.
Okay, because we're not just talking about wine, we're making wine.
We're making wine. Why don't I wouldn't no.
You didn't want to do a whole episode on how to drink wine?
Every 5 minutes I sip and I would be plastered. I'm almost there, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to spit it out. You know that, right? Like you're not supposed to wine tasting.
Not when I have a bottle at home here. Why would I spit out my wine?
Speaking of which, you did say before we started recording that you got a bottle specifically for this episode.
Yeah, I just got a cheap bottle, but Bogle. Shout out to Bogle.
Who doesn't love a Bogle girl? Mm-hmm.
Although unfortunately, whatever. I am drinking a Cab. I'm a big Zin. I'm a big Red fan, but I just grabbed this because they were having a members sale at Safeway.
And you're a member?
So, yes.
Okay.
And I also cut
Safeway
in front of someone while I was checking
and the clinker
out.
mortar.
Clinker brick. Come on, pull it together. All right. The first step in winemaking is the harvesting.
Okay. Harvest.
And so grapes are harvested when they are fully ripe. The timing of the harvest can affect the flavor profile of the wine. So Chardonnay.
Is the first step then really planting the grape?
I think it is, but I feel like that is common sense.
No, because like you don't just
all right, fine.
harvest.
Okay, fine.
You have to reap what you sow, Ben.
Oh my God. All right. If we really want to be so particular, I think the first step is to be born into a family that has a lot of money. Or
That is the first step. You're right. That was the one I missed out on.
you missed that. Buy land, kick indigenous people off the land, and then take
That's
that
not
land.
mandatory. That is not
It's not,
mandatory,
but
but
it
it is
is the
optional. And in the
American
US,
way.
yeah.
Okay.
Also,
So,
I think you have to choose what kind of wine you're going to make, because you can't just plant
well,
any grape, right?
that is a good point. I wish if paper still existed, I would just crumble this up and just toss it.
No,
But
I'll stop interrupting you sometime in the next
I
4
feel like
months.
you should do this. Chardonnay and Pinot Noir are early ripening grape varieties, whereas
Okay. Whoa.
whereas Cab, Merlot, and Sangiovese are late varieties.
Okay.
Isn't that what I
Cab,
said?
Merlot, Sangiovese.
Mm-hmm.
And you just said it
Are late
slowly.
varieties.
You like
Oh,
enunciated
because
it well.
sometimes it's like I just have to.
Okay, so a Chard and a a
Yep,
Chard
a
and a
Chard and a Pinot
Merlot.
Noir are early ripening grapes. So they were saying the white grapes, the white wine, is usually ripens earlier.
Oh. But Pinot
hmm
Noir is red wine.
I know, that's so interesting. I think
Okay.
maybe it's like not as strong or like as heavy as some of the other ones.
Well, yeah, like a Pinot Noir is usually like a juice. That's why I like it. Like it's like
Well,
juicier, whereas like a Cab is, I think, more full body.
I was going to ask you, what kind of wine do you go to generally?
I'm a Sauvignon Blanc girl, and if they
Gross.
have it, a Chenin Blanc or
Oh, I
a
like Chenin
Viognier.
Blanc. hmm
Um, and then if I drink red, I mean, I'll pretty much drink most reds, but I love a Cab. I love a
Nice.
Pinot Noir. Zins are great. Even like a nice like table wine, like a blend, is kind of
hmm
fun every now and then. I
I've been
drink.
really. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I drink less red wine because it has a higher pollen count, and I have really
Hmm.
bad allergies, and so sometimes
Interesting.
the whole like a Cab has like a lot of pollen in it, and I'm just like, this is so good, but then I'm gonna sneeze.
I never taste the pollen.
You don't taste it, you sneeze it. Well, you.
That's so bizarre. It's like bizarre to me though. That is one of the reasons why you don't drink that one.
I take 4 allergy pills a day, so
All right,
like I am
it's not a
allergic to life.
competition, Jackie.
It is always
I
a
know.
competition, and I am always losing at life.
I support you because that means I'm winning. Or I'm not winning, but like I'm
I don't
ahead
think
of
you're
you.
winning. I'm going to tell you right
I'm
now.
not.
I think
I'm not winning at all.
I think we're
Okay,
together in the back.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. In Napa Valley, the crush usually starts in mid-August and ends in October, and harvesting can last for months. And
So
picking
you
grape,
harvest and you crush it.
we're getting to crushing next. That's the next step. You're
Okay.
jumping ahead. But
Okay. You
part of
said crush.
harvesting is, I know, did I make that word up? Oh, the crush. Maybe I
Yeah,
typed
you
it
said the
wrong.
crush.
I don't know what that means, but harvesting though can last for months, which involves picking the grapes to fermentation, which that can take about a week. So it's like a continuous process of picking the grapes, letting it ferment, and it's picking the grapes, letting it ferment, yada yada yada. So that whole harvesting can take like several months.
I'm going to be real. I always thought that you fermented like after you crushed it.
You
Like I
do.
never really. Okay, so
So
it's
this
a
is
double
where this is
ferment.
okay. So now we're getting to crushing. So the
Okay.
harvested grapes are crushed to release their juice. Traditionally, this was done by stomping on the grapes, flashback to I Love Lucy. But
Great
nowadays,
reference.
great reference. It's really relevant. But nowadays, mechanical crushers are often used. Shout out to machines.
And my ex-boyfriends.
Stomping. What?
My ex-boyfriends are pretty much mechanical crushers.
Oh, got it. Okay. Like in the bedroom or like to harm?
I wish. No, just my
Okay.
heart, Ben. Just my
Sorry.
heart.
All right. Stomping grapes with your feet is a lot more gentle and natural. And that stomping stopped at the end of the 20th century.
So there's no stomping anymore.
Not really. I mean, I'm sure you could do it, but it's like there's machines now. But I would try it. I would still do it.
I
Like,
would
I would
try
try
it too.
it.
I've actually always wanted to do that. Like,
I know. And
give
what's
it a shot.
so like one of the things I read too is like people were like, is it sanitary? And it's like, well, it goes through a lot of other like there's like all these other processes to go through that it's fine. Like it doesn't really matter.
I'm gonna be real. I keep my feet very clean, so like I would be really okay with like my feet, but I would need to see the feet of the of what was crushing my wine before I drank it. Like if it was some nasty feet, I'm not doing it.
Why do you say that your feet, why do you keep your feet clean? Like what is that process like? Do you crush them?
I
Do
don't.
you
Why would I
harvest your
crush my
feet?
feet?
I don't
That
know.
is sick, man.
The wine is kicking in, Jackie, and I'm trying to
Okay,
keep up with myself.
that was more serial killer. So no, I don't crush and harvest feet.
Not other people's feet, your feet.
No, I like really don't like dirty like feet. And like
Oh,
I
sure,
think
sure.
well, you know who's
You don't have
really
a foot fetish.
no, I just don't like dirty like I'm kind of a germaphobe, but you know who's crazy about their feet keeping clean is Rebecca. She wears shoes in her house all the time. Like she wears shoes in her shower.
Interesting.
And I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
Interesting.
I used to be a hippie, so my feet used to be real dirty. So maybe that's just why I think my feet are clean now because I used to be like a barefoot sun child
I used
running through
to
the hills.
back in Pennsylvania during the summer. I like never wore shoes
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I just don't like wearing clothes. I don't like wearing like I should
And
just
you
do one of
had
these
dirty
podcasts
feet that
and I'm
I
naked.
don't want to crush my wine.
Maybe that's why I have two toes stuck together because they're dirty. It's
Is that true?
not because they're dirty. It's because I was born with it.
What?
It's actually Maybelline, but
What are you
yes,
talking? Do you have two toes stuck together?
yes, I do.
Like, is there skin around them both?
How else would they be stuck together?
No, I mean, like, are they individually wrapped or double wrapped? Is it like
I
a Twix bar? Like, in there? You know what I
it's like two toes that are stuck together. Like it
mean?
looks like this, but except there's skin here.
Ew, no, I don't like. What just happened? Did you see that?
What balloons?
Did you do that?
No, I don't know how I did that. Is it, maybe it's this. No. Okay. I thought that was like
I was like, ew,
all right,
balloons. How did that happen?
whatever. All right, let's move on. We're moving on from my
Your
beautiful
gross
feet.
feet.
All right, you don't need to jab at me. Uh, the next step, though, is pressing. So this is when the grapes are crushed. Ironically, they really should say pressed. The crush. Sorry. Okay, I'm reading ahead. The crushed grapes are then pressed to separate the juice from the skin, the seeds, the pulp, really any other solids. And this step is optional for white wines, as they can be fermented with the skins.
I did know that. So I imagine they're like pressing all of the stuff down and the
Hmm.
juice probably like floats to the top or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what I'm imagining. Although it didn't tell me. I guess I'm assuming it's still
But does that
machinery that
mean
does it.
white wine can have the seeds and the stems?
I'm assuming so, but that's why I think it goes through all these different processes. That I'm sure they drain it. Like, I'm sure they like
Hmm.
sift it out or something. You know,
I
I
just
don't
like
know how.
imagine someone like sitting there with like tweezers pulling out
Why would they do
stems.
that?
That would be the worst job ever. I would
Yeah,
hate
but
my
why
life.
would they do that? Why wouldn't you use like a giant colander or something or like a sifter?
Because then the
Is
skin will
this?
stay in there.
I'm just imagining you when you cook pasta, gluten-free pasta, like using toothpicks and picking out each noodle out
That's
of.
how I do it.
Cool. This is why you went to
Some
the Olive
noodles are
Garden.
under, some noodles are over, but like it's
Right.
like a little bit of a mixed bag.
It's just really fun. Sometimes I like burn myself. It's really a hoot and a half.
So I told my conservative cousins that that in California we have different playing cards, um, and that all the cards are equal, like, like a 6 also equals a queen, like we don't see like order above each other, and that like we
Mhm.
don't see color either, like there is no black and there is no red, and like honestly most of the cards are really just blank, and that's how we can identify other liberals, is we ask to see their playing cards.
What
And
do
if
they
they
say?
hand you a normal deck, then you know they're a conservative. They looked shocked at first, and one of them is like, "But how do you like gamble?"
Oh my. That's what it really comes down to, is the gambling.
It is.
Your cousins have a gambling addiction.
I mean, same. No, I don't.
I was to say.
I don't like to gamble. Okay, I am pressing.
You're pressing. Good job. Except for white wines. Also,
Not
I
the
have to
white
tell
wine.
you too, I forgot to mention this, in crushing, it's not necessary to crush the grapes either for white wine.
So like I just like pick some white wine and just like throw it in a bag and call it wine.
There you go. It's wine. Well, no. We're only like a couple steps in. All right.
Okay.
The next step is where it really starts to happen. The fun starts to happen. It is the fermentation. So the grape juice, also known as must, hate that word in that sense. It's like moist, but I don't like it. Maybe it's the
Musty. Yeah, it
letter. I
sounds
don't know.
like dusty. Gross.
I just don't. Maybe I'm thinking musk, which is another word I don't like.
Musk, I don't mind as much because muskrat grapes are delicious, which is what you make a Moscato out of.
I just,
But a
I hate the word.
Moscato is too sweet, but the grapes
Yeah, I
are
don't like
delicious.
Moscato. It's too sweet. Um, the grape juice, or the must, is transferred to fermentation vessels. Yeast is added to the must to convert the sugars into alcohol and carbon dioxide. This is where it gets too sciencey, and I just blacked out for a little bit.
Okay.
This process typically takes 1 to 2 weeks or 5 to 21 days, essentially almost a month. But it can vary depending on factors like temperature and yeast strain. I did not realize that there were different strains of yeast.
Yeah,
Did you know
there's.
that?
I did. Do you think like
How do
different
you
things?
know that?
Well, because I've made bread.
You can
And
make
you,
bread. That's fun.
I mean, I can do anything, Ben. Just because I'm
Cute.
a woman doesn't mean that I am limited.
Well, making bread seems like something a woman should do.
It is. It was why my sister-in-law learned how to do it during the pandemic, and then she showed me. Hey,
Cute.
hey, sir, no.
She's
Hey,
talking to her cats, for those that are listening. Not me.
gentlemen, this is not the time. This is not the time.
Gentlemen. Do you think they're gay lovers, your cats?
No. I would say if they were gay lovers, but they are definitely brothers.
Cute.
Definitely brothers. It's
Why?
honestly kind of disappointing that they're not gay lovers, but there is a really big age difference, and that would make Jupiter a pedophile. And I don't really
Not
need
in the cat
pedophile.
world.
I don't need a
You don't need a
pedophile,
catophile.
a gay cataphile
Yep, a
in
gay
the
catophile.
catacombs.
I'm like, oh, watch out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeast in the fermentation.
Can you stop saying yeast? It's like,
Oh, sorry.
makes me think of like
It's
a
not like a
yeast
yeast
infection.
infection. I know, it's not that. That's because we're humans, and that's what we get is infections.
It's going well.
This is going really well. I love it so much. Who thought I could just like drink wine and just know how to make it?
I don't think that's what happened. Like, were you like, I osmosis learned how to make wine by it being in my body?
I mean, yeah, that's exactly how I thought it was going
You
to
know
happen.
how to make wine into sugars and stuff
Blood?
that your body
Oh,
digests?
I thought you were making Jesus reference. Never mind. Okay.
Nope.
All
No,
right.
he made water into wine, not wine into water, Ben.
What if I made wine into other wine?
Oh, you want a Zen? You don't like that? Ooh, Moscato.
It'd be the best bartender ever. Thanks, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Clarification is the step after fermenting.
Oh, I thought you were going to clarify what you were saying.
No.
And it was like, what did you say wrong?
Oh, I say a lot of things wrong, including how to make wine. All right.
You're like, this isn't even how you make wine. I just
This is
made
it.
this up this morning.
I just totally no. I did this. I made this up last week. Thanks.
Okay, good job.
After fermentation, the wine is often cloudy due to sediment and yeast particles. It is clarified by either racking, which means transferring the wine to a new vessel, leaving the sediment behind, or by using fining agents to help particles settle.
Finding or
Fining.
fining? Like Fining.
Correct.
Okay.
Thanks for calling out my gay voice. My gay accent. My gaccent.
That's not a thing, Ben.
I think it is. You ask any gay person, and just be like, can you identify someone that's gay based on their voice? And they're most likely going to be like, oh, okay.
But no one calls it a gaccent.
Oh, no. I made that up. TM.
We know.
Yeah, TM. All right. Clarification, not the same as filtration. I wrote this at like super early this morning and or late last night.
You literally just said you made this last week.
Oh yeah. No, I got the bones for it, and then I will go back in and edit and like find more stuff.
Are you a serial killer? Because you've brought up bones, you've brought up harvesting feet.
I mean, not this year. I gave that up last year. This is like
that was so 2023. That was
last year.
You replaced that with podcasting. You're like, I'm going to stop killing people.
I got to stop it and just go. I got to kill people with my voice.
Mm-hmm. And it's working.
All right. Thank you. It's my accent, TM. All right. Not the same. What?
You just kept looking at me for approval.
Did I do good?
You're like...
I'm sorry, I'm reading my notes.
Okay.
Not the same as filtrating, which is a process that takes place after fermentation and aging. And it involves passing the wine through a filter to remove any remaining solids, yeast cells, or bacteria. So clarification, that's why I was confused about it. It's like clarification is different than filtration. Because I was like, clarification, this sounds a lot like filtrating.
No. One's clarifying and one's filtering.
Great. Now tell me the difference.
One, you are clarifying by getting the clear liquid.
Okay, when you do a definition of a word, you can't use the same word in the definition.
You can have a clear liquid that has like clear stuff in it, right? But like to filter, you were getting out large particles. So you can have like, I don't know.
Like aloe vera, like aloe. You can drink aloe.
Yeah, or you can even have large particles, like dusts or whatever in there, right? That's like kind of harder to see. So I feel like clarifying is trying to get it clear, because I also imagine that you could have like cloudy, right? Like a real like cloudy. And so you need to clarify like all of that stuff out. And then maybe you're left with some bigger shit. I would think you filter before you clarify, but again, I'm not a winemaker.
You're not, and this is why you do podcasts.
I don't know if that was a compliment, but I'm just gonna move on.
I think it was just like, I think it was a statement.
Okay. All right, we're stating.
Great, we're stating and we're menting. Mm-hmm. After clarification, there's the aging, right? Okay. So some wines are aged in oak barrels, some are in stainless steel tanks, and this helps develop the flavor complexity. And so the
clarify, then you age, then you filter?
Nope. So filtration, this is, it involves passing wine through, takes place after fermentation. Is that what you said? So you ferment, there's a spot in there that I didn't get told that filters stuff, and then you clarify it. So it continues to break down things down.
Yeah. Okay, that is how I thought it would be. Okay, and then we go.
It continues to break down things.
Okay, and then you age.
Yes, and so that's what. So yeah, it goes into the barrels. That's when if you ever go wine tasting, you'll see these barrels, or stainless steel tanks with delicious wine that's just there and it's aging. So the duration of aging varies depending on the type of wine being made and the winemaker's preferences.
Okay.
Well-made reds can age nicely, even for only 3 to 5 years.
You have
So
to
it's not
do
like a
3 to 5 years.
I think they can. I don't think they have to. I was. Stop calling me out.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions. Just pretend like I know what I'm talking about because I'm an expert. I will
Okay,
be
you
after
are.
I
You're
teach
really
you.
proving it.
Well-made reds can age nicely, even for only 3 to 5 years.
You just repeated what you said and you did not answer my question.
Even for only 3 to 5 years.
Okay. How minimum?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you the expert?
Yeah, well, Google is red wine needs to age for 2 years minimum.
Told you.
Okay.
It's the
No, you
even
said three to
for
five. You said
2 years. Are you going to believe them or are you going to believe
This is like a
wineenthusiast.com?
prison sentence, right? Like you got 2 years minimum, right? But you
Sure.
really have 3 to 5,
Yep.
depending on behavior.
Yep. Here, wines that should not age. Can you guess what these ones are? There's 3 that I found.
Riesling, Moscato, and whatever that one that starts with a G is.
Nope. All of them wrong. Rosé,
Oh.
Pinot Grigio, and Sauvignon Blanc are some examples.
Oh, my little bitty.
Oh yeah. Drink that. Sauvignon. I actually like Sauvignon Blanc over Chardonnay,
Oh
but
yeah, I don't like Chardonnay.
no,
I'm not a big Pinot fan, Pinot Grigio, but I'll drink it.
Sure. Yeah. Same girl. Here are some flavor profiles of aged wine, which is fun because none of them sound great. So,
Perfect.
for Cab and Merlot, a great flavor profile for nicely aged wine is dry tobacco leaves and a cigar box.
Sometimes people tell me what it's supposed to taste like, and
I
I'm
know.
like, and I
We're
actually
always
love this. Go ahead.
good. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I love the smell of like candles that are like tobacco and whatever.
Musky.
But like in my wine, it does like I don't know. I smoked cigarettes for years and I still don't think they taste good.
Well, of course not. Cigarettes are disgusting.
Some people
I
just are
think
crazy.
those people are addicts. Call AA. No, that's
AA is for
call.
alcohol.
Right. Um, but I think those
And
are
you're the
like
one who needs to call AA.
not yet. It hasn't interfered with anything except this podcast.
That's not the only reason you need to stop drinking.
I disagree. I'm going to a bar later tonight.
So you're just pre-gaming.
Essentially. Although I wasn't going to go. Never mind, it's off topic. Pinot Noir flavor profiles, fallen leaves, earth, and undergrowth.
What the fuck, dude? Why would I want to taste undergrowth? You know
I
what
don't
this
know.
is?
I think
This Pinot really tastes like dirt.
yeah, I think it's just supposed to be like earthy. Like when you go to like, I also feel like um, wine people. Those what do they call when they serve you wine? Wine people. They
Like
wine people.
oh god, what are they?
Like if you go to a winery and
I want to
they
say
like serve you samples.
connoisseur.
No, I know what you're thinking of, and I don't think it's it.
What?
No, I know
Sommelier.
you're.
And I
Yeah,
actually didn't even
is that
Google
what
that.
sommelier? Okay, I was thinking that was the
Sommelier is like a
wine.
wine expert. I think somebody who
That's right.
just pours you wine
But
at a wine bar is called
it's
a
a wine
bartender.
person. Oh, okay. It's not a wine bar. It's called a winery.
Okay. Winery server's name.
I love Google. Shout out to
Tutus.
Google.
Yeah, it says sommelier, but a
That's
sommelier has to be like
the,
trained and like
yeah,
have some
sommelier
sort
is
of
someone who
background.
like makes wine. Like they are usually the ones. Yeah, like you said, an
No,
expert.
no, not
Yes.
necessarily. Sometimes the sommelier, like when you're at a fine dining restaurant, the sommelier is like the person who is like, this is what
Okay.
goes well with your dinner and stuff like that.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, yeah, they're the experts. Okay, I yield. But anyways, the wine people, I love that they're like they. I feel like they always just make up things. They're like, this has a really like great earthy feel. It's like a yoga
Like
instructor. They're
fallen
like,
leaves. What the fuck does fallen leaves taste like?
can you imagine they have to like probably substitute fallen leaves or like you'll get really hints of like mango smoked with herbs or
Like
something
black
like that.
cherry. Like honestly, when they're like black cherry fig, like I can usually get that stuff, like jammy,
And I bet you
chocolate
it's really
undertone.
fallen leaves that you're tasting.
I'm not like they're just like literally we just crushed up some fallen leaves, topped off your wine glass, but
you're
it went
you
through
may taste
filtration, so
feet.
it we harvested some feet, we let them
You're
ferment,
You get a
Ben
really
crushed
nice
them.
fallen leaves and feet.
Ben crushed him with his weird feet.
They're lovely.
Mm. Continue, please.
Anyway, the flavor profile of a Syrah, which I'm really starting to enjoy more. Are you there? Did we freeze? Okay,
Yeah, I'm just drinking water.
cool, cool. Me too. This is once water.
I hate you.
Syrah, which I'm starting to love more. Smoky cured meat and
Nope.
violets.
Nope.
I know. I know.
Cured meat. Like honestly, even smoky meat sounds better than like if you were like a smoky brisket versus like this tastes like a Slim Jim, you know?
I would go for the brisket.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if a sommelier was like, "This tastes like Slim Jims
And fallen leaves
and fallen leaves."
and undergrowth. I would have been like,
All
dude, not trying it.
I know, all the white people would get up and leave. Their
Mhm.
noses up. Um, the next that I have on here, I've never heard of this wine, a Nebbiolo,
Nebbiolo. How's that spelled?
and Nebbiolo. So a Nebbiolo and Sangiovese.
Okay, I was about to say it sounds Italian, and Italian has like Italy has a bunch of wines that we like a Brunello as well, like a bunch of wines that we don't really drink very much in the US.
Those flavor profiles sound almost are the best ones. It sounds like a flavor profile is sour cherry and rose.
Yeah, I can fuck up some sour cherry. Rose less so much, but
I'm actually a big fan of herbal flavors, and so I'm all about the rose and the sour cherry.
no, I don't love a floral. That's probably why I don't
Ugh,
love like a
love it.
Pinot Gris very much because like sometimes they're citrusy, which I love, and sometimes they're more floral, which I don't.
But you know, if it's in front of me, I'll drink it.
I do know that indeed. Mhm.
Okay, cool.
I can confirm.
The last flavoring profile I have on here is Riesling, which is too sweet, and Chenin Blanc, which I enjoy.
Mhm.
And that flavor profile is a chamomile tincture. And I don't know if tincture isn't a tincture like a drop.
Yeah, like herbalist will give you like a tincture. Like I do sublingual herbalist drops.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like that's so specific. It's
A
like
chamomile tincture from the fallen coast of the upper valley. Like, what the
undergrowth.
undergrowth? This tastes like undergrowth and
I
asshole. And
know, I
all
know.
the white people are like, I love this. Is this a
But
2003, you
the
say?
gays show up. I'm like, did someone say asshole? Sorry. Okay. All right. Anyways, the next step is bottling.
Okay. Okay.
Once the wine has reached the desired flavor profile, it is bottled. Some winemakers may choose to filter the wine before bottling, I guess again, to remove any remaining sediment.
Okay.
So this is why we have this beautiful, this cab that's smooth AF. If I was a
Hmm.
sommelier, I would say AF
Like
all
my
the time.
face.
So I know we both have makeup on. We get it.
Um, I don't. This is natural.
Same, same. My hair is just like my hair looked good earlier when I was doing it, and I was like, you know what, whatever, it's fine. Like that face. Last step. This is like the fun part. This is when we get to have fun. Labeling and packaging.
Okay.
The
I do love a
bottles are
package.
labeled. I mean, who doesn't? The labels, I'm sorry, the bottles are labeled and packaged for distribution.
Mm.
So this is fun. The year in the bottle is the year the grapes were picked. So this bogle says 2021.
Hmm.
So that's the year it was picked. That's pretty much it. That was what I was going to show you.
Okay. Wow. All right.
So now a couple things. So here's one. All right,
Does it
if you
age again while it's in the bottle?
I think it can age. It does no can. It does still age. Some wines age more in the bottle. Like port is one that can like age for a super long time.
Well, no, like a
But
lot of like really nice wines, like there's like, like a 1976 blah blah
but
blah
even
blah chateau.
those wines though should still be drank though, like relatively like not that long. Like you
Yeah,
still need to drink them.
yeah. It shouldn't be hundreds of
So
years. Well, because like the
no,
more likely they are to be vinegared, and no one
yeah.
wants a vinegared wine.
Except for port though. Port's like one example that's like can like age almost forever. It's like
I
almost
feel
like
like it's
honey,
probably just
except
too much sugar in there. Like it just probably just gets more and
probably.
more sweet. I bet.
Yeah.
I hate port. I cannot drink
Oh,
port.
I
I think
love
it's
it.
nasty. Oh.
So good. It's so good with like chocolate, like dark chocolate.
So when I
Like
worked
my
in an
nipples are like kind of hard thinking about it.
when I was 20 to 22, I worked in an Italian restaurant, like a family
That's
style
cute.
Italian restaurant. And
Was it the Olive Garden?
no, I don't want to talk about the Olive Garden right now. We have some PTSD from that.
Okay.
It was like family style. Like both my owners were like, one was like from Italy, like literally recently, and the other were like had long, like his parents were from Italy or came over when he was a kid. I can't remember. Anyways, like they did everything like really like kind of Italian style, very small place in a small town. And we did free bottle service at the end of the dinner. So like I would bring a bottle of port over in two glasses and people would just be able to drink. People used to party there like heavily. And I remember there was this one guy who they always told me was a porn star. And I found out years later wasn't actually a porn star. They just told all of us waitresses that.
That's so
Uh,
funny.
but I remember he just like I was drinking a lot. This is like the height of my alcoholism. I was drinking
Nice.
a lot, like as we were encouraged to drink on shift, like we were supposed to drink with our tables, and so I
That
was
sounds like a
pretty drunk.
classy place.
Oh, so classy. It was very under the table.
Was
I
it
heard
New Jersey?
this isn't the Bay Area, but I actually heard one time, like I walked in a room where they were like, and then there was a dead body in the trunk, and I just like turned around and walked back out. I was like, I don't, la 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 la. Anyways,
That
I
sounds
just
very
remember,
Italian.
right? Yeah, I remember the guy who like was supposedly the porn star literally just poured a glass of port into a wine glass for me. And I was drunk already. And I just like pounded it. And like still to this day, the thought of port makes me sick to my stomach. Like it's just like, oh,
You just don't
gross.
do it right. Oh, gross. No, you
It
sip
was
it and
also
then have
free
some dark
port.
chocolate. Yeah, but I'm still like I love alcohol and I love wine, and I would never do a wine glass of port because I'd be like, this is classy shit.
Mhm.
Like
They used to
where's
have
my dark chocolate?
Frangelico, and that was the one I did
Mm,
like to like
yes.
sit. Like that's probably the only alcohol I've ever thought like, oh, I could sit here and sip this and enjoy it. I really like Frangelico.
Have you ever had Sambuca?
Had Sambuca. That we had that too. We had like limoncello. We had
I
like a
love
like
limoncello.
there
I
was
make
like
limoncello.
oh that's pretty cool. I would try
Oh, I
some.
should
That
have
was
talked
pretty.
about that tonight.
I am fucking dead. You just spent like an hour talking about something that you know nothing about.
Are you kidding me? I know everything. I know that the wine's fermented and it's
Okay.
bottled.
Speaking of which, let me tell you. Oh, we're at the end, right?
Yeah, we're at the end. So
Okay.
my question to you is, what would if you had a winery? What would be the name of your winery?
I had a winery. So, like, a couple of family names is like one of the family names is Chance, And I always wanted to name a child that. If I had a boy, I always wanted to name them that. So I'd probably have something with like chance in the name. Like actually like my AOL screen name, my first like online screen name was Lucky Chance. So I would maybe
Cute.
do something like a play off that, like Lucky Chance Wines or something like that, because that would be kind of
Love it.
cute. Yeah.
Love it.
And then I'd have to like, I feel like I would want to make a Sauvignon Blanc because that's what I normally drink. But you know that we'd have to make some like really full body, like almost bitchy cab and name it the Jackie, you know? Like
Oh, yeah, I love that. So is that what wine you think you'd be?
what wine? Yeah, I mean, I drink a Sauvignon Blanc, but let's be real. Like, I'm gonna be a cab. I'm gonna be something really in your face. Like, I'm no like citrusy light. Have me on a glass in like a night, like a long summer day. Like, I am like a mulled wine type of girl. Like, I am in your face, a sangria, right? That's what I would be. What would you
Okay.
be?
So I actually happen. We're gonna take a little quiz,
Okay.
so to figure out what kind of wine you'd be. I'll tell you what mine is at the end.
Okay.
Which word would you use to describe yourself? Flirty, easygoing, high maintenance, likable, serious, or charming?
Charming.
Okay. It's one of those like scientific quizzes you get on BuzzFeed.
Really, really hard science.
What city would you like to live in? Would it be Sydney, Florence, New York, Singapore, San Francisco, or Paris?
Paris.
Ooh, that makes sense.
Mhm.
What's your go-to comfort food? Soup, pizza, fried chicken, nachos, spaghetti and meatballs, or grilled cheese? You can
I
add
probably
gluten stuff to any of this.
I probably go with a
Gluten free.
soup though. I love a soup, which you sassed in the very beginning, but
Oh my god, I think soup is so stupid.
I love you can make anything into a soup, Ben. I
You can
will
make anything on a pizza. That's what I picked. What's your dream vacation? Tulum, Tokyo, Madrid, Bangkok, Santorini, or Reykjavik?
Reykjavik.
Sorry.
I've been to Tulum. That would be high up there, so I'm gonna go with Santorini.
Okay. Pick something sweet and sassy.
Me.
No, pick something sweet. Ice cream, hot chocolate, cookies. This looks like a baked breakfast dish. It could be a donut, a crepe, or or a crumble with ice cream.
Oh, crepe.
Crepes are good.
Mhm. It was a
Which
crepe
TV
or a crumble.
character? Oh God, this is gonna really. Which TV character do you most identify with? Um, that girl. This I feel like I should just pick this. Oh fuck. Hold on. This is really challenging. Olivia from. You know what? Pick. The
Olivia
top
from Special
three.
Victims Unit.
No, Olivia from what's Kerry Washington.
Oh
I'll just
yeah.
do Kerry Washington, Peter Dinklage,
You could just do
Blake
Kerry
Lively.
Washington from Scandal. I know. Yeah,
Honestly,
that's
that makes sense. Okay,
yeah.
cool. Choose a fruit: raspberry,
Ben.
peach. Thanks. Raspberry, peach, cherry, blueberry, pineapple, or apple.
Raspberry.
All right. And what did you say? What did you say that yours was?
I said I would be something like a cab or
Uh,
Brunello.
According to the science, yours is champagne.
You know what? That actually also works for me. I'm down. I
The,
love champagne. I always
this
forget that as a category of wine because it's its own standout.
This sparkling wine, the most prestigious kind in the world, is the centerpiece of any party. As for you, you know what you want in life and you're not afraid to reach out and grab it. You have great taste and you're always seeking the finer things in life. I think this is 100% you.
Accurate. And we're going to have to link that in the show notes so listeners, you can find out what kind of wine you are too because mine was accurate. Ben?
All right, I'm a Pinot Noir
Mhm.
And it says, just like a Pinot Noir, one of the most approachable wines, which is not true. You're super adaptable and easygoing, somewhat true. You have lots of different friend groups, which is true, and are always making the best of whatever situations you're thrown at you.
Oh, I think that's very true and very spot on. This test is
No,
accurate. Fuck horoscopes. We're all just doing what wine we are now.
I know. It's amazing. So I
Okay.
hope you learned a lot today.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I learned today.
Please do, because I want to learn.
I think you might, because I think I got the order down in the correct chronological order.
I'm looking at it right now, and I'll tell you yes or no.
Prior to one, you have pick what kind of wine you want, plant the wine, grow the wine, plant the grapes, grow the grapes, and then we get to step one, which is the harvest, and you pick the wine.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wonder what would happen if you just went to the grocery store and was like, I'm gonna buy these grapes.
I'm sure you can do that too, but like there's certain grapes that do certain wines. So like I think it would you'd have to get the right grapes. I wonder, because I think like I know a lot of like I've had champagne grapes, right? Like I wonder if what we eat in the grocery store is even like the stuff that they use, right? Like
It's not.
Okay. All right. Once you pick the wine, you then crush the wine, which we used to do by stomping, and now, which was more natural and gentle, but now we use some mechanical stuff since the 1920s.
Nope.
And
That's since the 20th century. It doesn't.
Okay, something like that.
Yep.
And then you press the wine, because crushing it is really releasing the juice, where pressing it is getting the juice separated from all the other stuff. Caveat, you don't have to do this for white wines.
That's correct.
Okay, once you've pressed, you ferment, which is you take the must or the musk, and you put that shit in some
Put the must, which is also known as grape juice.
Grape juice. And you let that ferment in some vessels with some yeast, and then there's some science, and that's 1 to 3 weeks long. And then we get to the clarification stage. No, we get to the filter stage. This is where you fucked me up. You filter before you clarify.
I'm just so smart with my winemaking.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up. You were going too fast and too good. Like these are, this is just a simple woman trying to keep up with this knowledge. Okay, so you filter, then you clarify, then you age, which you can do in barrels or other stuff.
Or insulting it to age it up.
Yeah, I'm aged. Well, you do that.
Yep.
Okay, for red wines, you do a minimum of 2 years. Usually 3 to 5 years is kind of your best bet. You don't have to age for a rosé, a Pinot Gris, or a Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc. That was like Elvis saying it. Sauvignon Blanc.
It sounded really French to me.
Okay. And then you get to the bottling stage, which leads you to the labeling and packaging stage. And then you put the year that you picked the grapes on the bottle. And you sell that shit.
Yeah, you do.
Did I do it? Can I wine make?
That was so good. Yeah, let's go. I think we should open it up. It'll be Chance Winery.
No, we're going to have experts wine. It makes you smarter.
I love that. It does make you smarter. I hope everyone knows that now how to make wine. I can't wait for everyone, our listeners, the 10 of them, to invite us over for their bathtub wine. I'm so excited.
I do love a bathtub wine, a prison wine. I know that with prison wine, like you take some oranges.
Made in the toilet. Oh.
Yeah. Well, like I think you have to put them like under the radiator first, because you want to like get them hot, I think. And then you put it in the toilet. I think that's the aging phase.
That makes sense.
And what do they call it? Pruno or something like that. I think Pruno is like a drink to help you.
Are you thinking prune juice?
What? Okay, what is prison wine called? I got it. Hooch. It's called Hooch or Pruno. Okay. It goes by the names including Hooch, prison wine, jail alcohol, jail wine, toilet wine, and Pruno. Pruno has been coined jail or prison alcohol because inmates combine a variety of agreements, including prunes, to create their own alcoholic drink.
Mm. Okay, got it. Question: if they use the toilet for winemaking, where do they poop?
I think you put it in the tank.
Oh, got it. Yeah, but when you
Hmm.
flush it, the water in the tank goes down into it elsewhere.
Yep, and then it refills.
Is it the same water that refills?
No, the tank is the water that goes into like the bowl, and then the bowl water gets flushed out.
You know a
So
lot
the
about
tank,
toilets.
well, because when I lived in Florida, we lived through a hurricane. And so what you do, yeah, like what you do is like all the water gets turned off, right? And so
Hmm.
you know you can only flush once, right? So you go as much as you can before you have to flush it because once you flush it, that's the only time you're going to get to flush it until the water gets turned back on.
Wow. I learned so much in that 30 seconds. And I don't know what to say to that, to be honest.
That was my gift to you. I know apparently a lot about prison wine and
You know a lot
toilets.
about toilets and Florida and Texas.
I am
And
gonna do a plumbing episode next. I am
oh my God,
absolutely not.
please.
No,
Oh,
no,
I mean,
that is never
if it's
happening.
as good as this winemaking episode, I feel like I will be flooding my house. And not because I'm excited.
With wine.
With wine, with wine, with wine.
Mhm. Well, I love these new hobbies for us. You winemaking, me
Same.
plumbing.
I know.
Yeah. What
Really.
is the one thing that you want to leave the listeners with? Then?
I would say try making wine. It sounds to me, I'm scared of making bread, but don't let your fear.
Take some yeast and put it in
There you
something.
go. Yeah, if you're a bread maker, it sounds like you could be a successful winemaker. So
Or
I
not.
wanna, you know what, or not.
Or
If you
find
fail,
if you're a successful bread maker, find a successful winemaker and
oh, and then you
tradesies.
open up a, I was gonna say open up a wine bread place, but that's also trades. It's fine.
Yeah, we could do a wine
Anyways,
bar. Oh my god, you and I would have such a good wine bar. Can you imagine
would
that?
we?
Yeah, nothing would get done. But
So
if
then we would not have a successful one, but okay.
Also,
Okay.
have you ever been to the Snug?
Of course I've been to the snug.
Okay, I met my cousin, my second half cousin's boyfriend's cousin owns it.
Cute. Have you been to the Butterscotch Den, which is near my house?
The what?
The Butterscotch Den?
No.
It's owned by the people that own Snug,
Oh.
and they have bomb ass drinks. So good.
Okay. Well, you're gonna come down here soon. After that, I'll come up there and we'll hit up these Sacramento wine bars,
I'm so excited. Oh, I didn't say it
cocktail
was a
bars,
wine bar, but okay,
cocktail,
good.
whatever. We'll talk about the wine episode in a cocktail bar.
Sounds great.
Okay. I cut you off before you finished your sentence about what you wanted to leave the listeners with.
You really think I mean, I was kind of failing, so let's start
Okay.
again.
Don't fail
Um, just this is what I want to leave our listeners with. There's no such thing as failure. Get out
in
there,
winemaking.
make some wine. If at first you don't succeed, wine again. To say.
Okay. And, thanks, listeners, for another episode. Get drunk with us next time if you didn't this time. We appreciate it when you do.
It's it's honestly better.
It does make it a little bit better. Actually, if you could all please drink and listen to us, that would
Yeah.
really help. And then when you're feeling really friendly, you leave a review. Send to your mom,
Yes.
send to your friends. Everybody needs to know how to wine make.
We love feedback, and so
I
we
don't.
love.
Don't send
Oh,
feedback. Tell me that I'm pretty, please.
you can tell me that I'm also pretty.
So just write letters,
Just say,
emails,
keep
send
being
us
pretty.
anything, and keep being
Yeah.
pretty out there, kids. All right.
Ciao.
Thanks for watching another episode of We're Experts Now. We couldn't do this without you.
If you like this episode and want to support the show, like, subscribe, and comment on YouTube or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
And pass along your favorite episodes to your friends, your family, coworkers, random people you meet on the bus, and just about anyone you think might want to be an expert too.
Have ideas for something you want us to investigate? Then send us an email at we'reexpertspod@gmail.com. That's WEREXPERTSPOD@gmail.com.
And don't forget to stay curious.